the component in the Global Village program being international projects
Yeah.
that the attendees work on. So why is that so important?
Well, it's really taken a kind of a journey over the history of the Global Village. When it started, there were no projects. But what we saw was that as this group, who was 21 years of age, now all of a sudden starts to become 23 and 25 and 30 and 35, that we had to challenge them much more than before. So that was the first issue. On the other side, what I was trying to do was figure out a way to give back to all these hundreds of businesses that are working with us all the time in the Global Village, right? So we started down that path of asking them whether we thought that we could be beneficial to them by doing international consulting projects, by putting them together in teams to do these projects.
So why do they participate? I mean, you've had a lot of interaction with them. They must have shared information with you as to what the benefit to them is.
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. I mean, we do 15 of them every summer, right? Well, first off, we've got a relationship with them. Two, they know that these are young professionals and young business people from all over the world. And particularly what generally happens is the companies have a particular interest in an area of the world, especially if it's a marketing project, right? Like I took a company that was in Greece, they wanted to go to Africa, to Nigeria, or an Italian company wanted to come here. So they understand that these young people are not like a paid consultant from McKinsey. They're going to be totally objective. They have no axe to grind. They just want to do good work for the client. So the client gets kind of a very objective view of what it would be like for them to go into these countries and find the right partners and how will those products be priced in that market and so on.
What have you learned over the years in terms of what are the critical components to ensure that the project piece of the Global Village program is successful?
Yeah. First piece of that is that we got to get everybody on the same page, and they have to actually project manage a very short project that now goes 5 weeks, used to be 6 weeks, 5 weeks. So that's the first component, is project management. Secondly is we got to pick different skill sets of the people and make sure we got all those different skill sets on the project. And thirdly, you have to have a good project to begin with, one that they understand and that they can do. So those are pretty important components of it, and they have to deliver a PowerPoint to the corporation when they finish the project. We used to give a voluminous report, 60, 80 pages, when we started this out, right? And all these kids are trying to write this report, and nobody speaks English as their common language. But the clients over the years said, listen, give me an appendix with all the references. But what I really want to do is hear these kids talk about the project and how they did it and what they found so that we can interact with them and ask questions. And so that PowerPoint presentation now, that hour-long session, is the key deliverable to the client.